Hello, all my JavaScript friends. This is TheVirtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and this is our snake game. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the score class. And what does the score class do? Well, it keeps track of all your statistics. For instance, on the screen that you're for example, on the screen that you're showing here, not that you're showing, I'm showing, on the screen that is being shown currently, the statistics represents all the different values into the score. Well, actually, it just represents two of them, the ones I want to keep track of right now, score and length. I've done this just as a simple one to make sure everything works correctly. We'll expand upon this once we really fill out the HTML game itself. So let's take a look at the score class. Actually, let's take a look at the design first. It's very simple. Arguments that we pass into it are 5 different pieces of data: the score, the speed, the level, the time, and the length. And each one of them has its own particular default. And so therefore you can just create the score all on its own, and it'll just accept it and go on its way. Now, why these 5? Well, these are the 5 that I thought we might need at the very beginning. What happens if I do need more? Then all I have to do is just add them. It's really that simple. And the properties are all, again, all read-only unless otherwise specified. The methods is where all the magic happens. We can increment the score, which updates the value, which updates the score property of the object. It defaults to 1. So if you just say increment score and just put nothing there, it will automatically do a 1. This number can be negative in case you want to actually decrement. That's why you don't see a decrement here. We just see increments, so you can increment a negative number. It gives you a decrement. Same thing with the speed, defaults to 1, and we can be negative. Level, increments, it defaults to 1. Length, defaults to 1. Notice both of those says it cannot be negative. You cannot lose length, and you cannot lose level, at least the way I envision it right now. That may change a little bit later on, but for right now, I don't see it. And the only difference that we have here, there's no increment time, there is a set time value. So, because the set time itself, depending upon the situation, there's really no good way to increment a time. If we're going to be using request animation frames, which is what we will eventually be using, although if you look at my code right now, we're not using that, we're using set intervals. But if we use set animation frames, the time value may fluctuate a little bit, so we just can't say increment time. It'll get itself alpha sync. So we just use set time to be able to get this accurate account as possible. And that's it. That's really all there is to the score. Let's take a look at the code. We have our 3 different, or 3, I can't count. There are 5 different values. We set them. Here are our getters. No big deal. Here are our incrementers. There's the increment score. There's the increment length. There's the increment level. There's the increment speed. Notice, and I just realized I forgot about this, I said earlier that the increment length and the increment level cannot be negative, but notice that I didn't do that here. Aha! So this is a bug in the code. You know, if anybody's going into QA and sits here and looks at the score design MD, to sit there going, that's going to mess up here, which means that we should have had something here within our unit test to be able to make sure that we can't do the negative value. Yes, I never even test for a negative value. So that's a design flaw, but hey, that's why we go through these kind of things. So there's speed and there's set time, and that's it. So the idea here is that what happens is that the game, when you hit a prize, for example, the prize has different values. When you hit a prize, you will sit there and increment. You would go to the score and say, hey, score, increment. And then the score will increment. And then it will tell, once the score increments, it will tell the game, hey, I've incremented the score. And then the game will go to tell the UI, hey, the UI, it's incremented the score. And then the UI will go through and come back over to here and say, hey, you've incremented the score. Bump it up by 1. And the UI will say, yes, sir. And they'll bump it up by 1. And everybody's happy and everybody's fine. And that's all there is to the score class. Very, very simple. And it works like a champ. That's one of the nice things here. We got a lot of tiny little classes that we're getting ready to go through here before we get into the real meat of it, the inputs and the UIs, where we start bringing things together. So this is a real simple little class. And it really works great to have simple classes like this. So if you need to change classes, if we need to add values, for example, it's very easy to add, and everybody will take care of it automatically. So kind of a way to, keep your classes as simple as possible, and your life will be a lot easier if you do. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel to view more videos. Click on the like button on this video and visit us at TheVirtuoid.com. Also, support us on Patreon, where you can get access to member-only videos. Links are down below. Again, thank you very much for watching, and keep on coding.